Hello, hello. Welcome back to Gunning to Old Trafford with your host, Ibi and Shady, and our amazing guest all the way from Australia, but we've got a New Zealander as well. We've got Adam and Dean. Guys, thank you so much. Again, the last segment was amazing. And to our fans, the community, make sure that you give that a watch because Dean and Adam take us through the amazing journey of how they got introduced to Manchester United, and we end up with the chances that Eric Ten Hag has at bringing glory back to Manchester United.
Amazing.
Guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. And apologies for all of the hiccups that we had in getting here, but thank you so much for understanding and getting us over the line. Yeah.
No problem. Anytime. We're here to help. Mate, we have dramas on Mancave United all the time, so I know how you feel.
Brilliant.
So, Adam and Dean, we into, and before we get into, I'm just going to introduce it. We into our best, our most interesting segment, and that is your guys, Manchester United top 11, right? So we in there, but before we get into that, Dean and Adam, what is your guys' take? Firstly, on the Glazers. And are the Glazers really going to sell? Because we've been Glazers out all the time, and I'm sure you guys, I mean, these guys were just parasites to the club. So what's your guys' take on the Glazers?
I'll let Dean take it.
Go for-
I don't know what else is to be said, really, but yeah, of course, everyone knows what they've done over the past 17 years, whatever it is. I lose count. There was protests when they first took over. There's been protests ever since. So, and I think a lot of people outside of Manchester United, they don't get why we hate them so much. Like, with them just bleeding the club dry, and then people will say, "Oh yeah, but they buy players and all that," but they take United money out and put it into their other investments. And, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl a few years ago, and that would never have happened if it wasn't for Manchester United. So, it's a hatred that obviously we all share. Obviously, people living in Manchester, it's a lot more like deep in that for them because that's their hometown. They're there every day of the week. Just seeing that the club is bleeding dry because of these American ownerships. And, I think it's just one of those things where, you get good owners, you get bad owners. I think Arsenal's gone through the same thing. Chelsea had a good owner, but then with what happened around the world, he had to sell. And, I think there's always going to be issues with the owners. I think it's how bad the issues are. It's like people talk about, the Glazers can sell. Who buys us? The Saudi group? Do I really want a Saudi group? No, I don't. Then Apple's going to buy us. Amazon's going to buy us.
Everyone.
Does that mean it'll be called? But does it mean it's going to be called Apple Stadium or Amazon Stadium? I don't want any of that. So the answer is I don't know who is going to buy us, and I think there's going to be a lot of changes around Manchester United when the changes come, because obviously the Glazers haven't done much to the stadium, the training facilities, all the stuff around Manchester in itself. Our city rivals, their owners have redeveloped the whole area. It's a whole different kettle of fish over there. They've just, changed everything from the bottom infrastructure, even the community itself, and I think it's just one of those things where obviously we need new ownership, but is it going to change a lot? Who knows? The 50+1 scheme is a brilliant idea. Will it ever happen? I'm not sure. Can't answer that. But I really think the government in the UK need to sort out like more rules for owners and not just about spending the money in the club, but in the community and rebuilding the community. So yeah, there's no quick fix in all this. Glazers out, but who's buying us?
100%. And I think that's really important. We need an ownership structure that, like you said, not only invests in Manchester United, the club, the first team, but invest in the infrastructure of the club, invest in the youth in the club, invest in the community around Old Trafford and the surrounding areas, but also has a more interactive approach to the fans, because I think the Glazers, have never really cared what the fans have said. They've promised a few times to do these kind of discussions, but they've like they've always done, they've failed on all fronts. So let's hope that the new owners come in are everything that we want and not a Glazers 2.0. So yeah, guys, quick one, and this is I think maybe you talked about it, renaming the stadium, etc. But there's been talks that if a new owner comes in, that apart from renaming the stadium, that Manchester United home games could move away from Old Trafford. Your thoughts on that possibility and Old Trafford becoming potentially a Manchester United museum or used for the women's team and the first team then moving into a new stadium. Do you think that's a good move, or should it be rather revitalized as opposed to a new stadium being built?
Oh, definitely shouldn't move. Definitely not. I'd be absolutely gutted. It'd be like someone dying in your family if that happened. All these memories that I've got around me is due to the cliff. Look, I've got a photo in that. Can't actually see it, just over in that corner. It's Barry. Barry's standing at the cliff watching Manchester United train, or people get invited to go to Carrington and watch the boys train there, and then they move from there and they get a bus to Old Trafford, and Old Trafford is sacred. You cannot possibly move away from that place. So for me, they need to either do it up, renovate it, or knock it down and rebuild it in the same place. But it definitely cannot move from Sir Matt Busby Way. Definitely not. It cannot move from there. It's a massive part of our history, and this is the reason why we follow Manchester United, is for the history and the dedication these players put to the fans. And you can see it again. I'll say, like, fortunate enough, like both Dean and I met Harry Maguire, and we were lucky enough to have a chat with him, and as much as he hasn't probably been the best player for Manchester United or anything like that, but you can see with these guys that they really do care about the club. It's just the media just absolutely pounds these guys. And and I was the first one to talk about on other podcasts about Harry Maguire, how he's playing on the wrong side, and sometimes his skills let him down and everything like that. But once you get to know these guys, I'm not saying I know him personally, but you get touched by these guys. They do want to play for the club. They actually do want to be there, and like, you do get feel for these guys sometimes, and you cannot, and I'm not saying he's going to go down as the big club legend or anything like that, and because club legends, to me, you earn the right to be a club legend at Manchester United, and a lot of people have Ronaldo as a club legend. I unfortunately don't, but but listen, they cannot move the place away from Old Trafford. It would tear people apart.
100%.
It would tear people like Paddy Crerand apart. It would tear people that put their life and soul into the club, and season pass holders that have been there for 50 years and stuff like that. It just can't happen. And I don't believe it will happen. I don't think. I personally believe the club will be sold within the next month or so. That's my prediction, that it will be sold in the next month or so. I don't believe that we'll buy players in January either, because I don't believe the Glazers want to waste their money to buy players.
Yep.
So, been answering your questions, there's no way that Old Trafford will ever be moved.
That's music to my ears, Adam. I was hoping that that's the direction you're going, and I'm hoping that the new owners are listening to this, because we should never ever move away from Old Trafford and Cement Busby.
No way.
100%. So, guys, we're going to now move into, and I think this is what everybody's waiting for, is your top 11. So, guys, do you guys want to do individual top 11s, one-on-one, or do you want to do a combined Adam and Dino all-time Manchester United 11?
No, we'll do a combined one, because that'd be interesting to see what Dean's views on some of the players are, and we've grown up in two different eras, so it'd be good to do a combined one. I'd love that.
So is this players that we've actually seen footage of, or is it just that we've heard of?
That you've seen, that you've heard of, anyone that you love and that you would love to be in a Manchester United all-time 11?
So gunning to Old Trafford, guys, when we take out our famous black book, everything gets noted in this famous black book. And we've got the conductor of the orchestra's wand, Martin Udegaard. So I had to bring it in, so yeah. Top 11, Ibrahim's going to go through it with you guys. You guys can obviously choose a formation you guys want to go with. But if you take us in.
Brilliant. So guys, and Dean asked a really important question. Sure. You can choose players from any era, whether you've watched them play or not, what you've heard about them, etc. Anyone that you would love to have seen in a Manchester United all-time 11. That's the first one. The second one, what formation would you guys love to see? We initially used to go for a flat 4-4-2 until we had one guest come on and he changed it up and said, listen, guys, I don't like a 4-4-2. I'm a modern fan, and I want to
go. Arsenal supporter. You changed the whole thing around.
I want to go for a 4-2-3-1. So yeah, we'll allow you guys to choose a formation. So, what formation do you guys do you think will suit your team the best?
Look, it's a tough one. They mix up formations these days like nothing else, but. Yeah, I think
as long as there's 11 players on the pitch, that's all that matters. Don't worry about it.
That's it. I like that. So we're going to go for a flat 4-4-2 then, right? I think the
just go the 4-4-2, yeah.
4-4-2 formation. And what we're going to do, I think just to mix it up a bit, since Abdul is a closet Manchester United fan, and you guys are doing a combined 11, we'll get you both to choose a pick from the two. In every position. If it's the same player, that's fine. But if it's different players, just a bit of a motivation on why. And then we let Abdul choose between the two to drop it into the 11.
And we lock it down. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Are you guys okay with that?
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
And he didn't tell me he's going to do that. So I'm excited. I've got the conductor's one in my hand. So I'm ready.
Brilliant stuff. So guys, we're going to start off with the goalkeeper because I think that's one of the most important roles in a field. I know they don't get a lot of the applauded, but if you have a really strong keeper in the back, they really help marshal the team from the back to the front. And we've been spoiled with choice, over the years with some amazing goalkeepers at Manchester United. So, Dean, we'll start off with you. Who would be the keeper that you'd want to marshal your defense in Manchester United all-time 11?
I don't think Adam's going to agree with me, but I'm actually going to go with David De Gea because the last 10 years our team has been horrible and he has been the shining light as where previous goalkeepers have had an excellent 10 players in front of them and they've done well also. But, I think David De Gea over the last 10 years is just, how many men of the seasons has he won? I think he's been in a really poor team, but some of the saves he makes and that, it's just unbelievable. So, yeah, I'm going to go with David De Gea. And I know Adam's daughter will agree with me.
And luckily, the Glazers didn't really invest in infrastructure. That fax machine broke when they were sending the transfer papers to Real Madrid. So we had him still with us. So brilliant pick. I love David De Gea, and I'm glad that you've gone with him. Adam, on your end, do you agree with David De Gea?
Look, I wrote a list of the top keepers in Manchester United, and I went from Harry Gregg to Jimmy Rimmer to Van der Sar, Alex Stepney, and all these guys played a lot of games for Manchester United, Schmeichel. But at the top of my list I did have De Gea. So.
Brilliant! Brilliant. Well,
definitely. At the top of my list, I had De Gea.
Amazing. Do you know everybody that we've interviewed have all chosen Schmeichel?
Peter Schmeichel, yeah.
So amazing, De Gea. I love De Gea. I think he's...
Look, the thing with Schmeichel is Schmeichel came in and he was this big man that came in, dominated areas and stuff like that. And look, I've seen Schmeichel make many mistakes in the goals, but it's never really spoken about. And look, he came up, he used to be a handball player and he used to spread out a lot and stuff like that. You had players like Harry Gregg that was playing against in leather balls and he had no gloves, or Alex Stepney in the same situation. So these got Jimmy Rimmer the same. These
Yeah.
guys were the boys that started bringing in gloves and stuff like that. But for mine, look, I'm a big futsal fan as well. De Gea's brought in the foot save. My daughter's a massive De Gea fan as well. De Gea's made so many saves that shouldn't have been made. And look, even when De Gea first started, he was terrible for United. I was the first one to say, where did we get this from? But I think in that time, he's probably had one bad season, two bad seasons. And he's won one Premier League for United. He's won, unfortunately, he was on the bench for when they won the Europa League. But, you know, and he's won I think he's won an FA Cup, I'm not sure. But he's won an FA Cup. Yeah.
I was at the final in Wembley against Crystal Palace when their manager was doing a bit of a
and Jesse Lingard scored the goal and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely for me, De Gea. Yeah, I'm a little bit different to everyone else, as people know. So
we're locking in David De Gea, and I do not dispute that.
And you guys just made Abdul's job easier.
Yeah, much easier.
Also, I've met De Gea a couple of times, so it makes it a little bit easier too.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Spain failed at the World Cup, because they didn't take David De Gea with as well.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
100%. So the next position that we're going to move into, and I think this is a really important, position, is your centre back position. And when we do centre backs, we like to go for a pairing. They don't need to have played in the same era. They could be players from different eras, but they need to complement each other. So we're going to do a 2-pick here. Because we started with Dean, the last one, we're going to start off with Adam. Adam, who's your centre-back partnership that's playing out in front of David De Gea, and why?
That's a tough one for me because I really love Bruce and Pallister. So they were excellent. They complemented each other very well. And like for me, Bruce was a goal scorer as well. If people have short memories, back in '91, he scored 19 goals for Manchester United in one season. He had the captain's knock as well. So he basically won United at the end of the season their first trophy and first Premier League, because he did score a couple of crucial goals and get United back into the game. And then you had Jaap Stam, you had Rio Ferdinand and Vidic. So it's a tough one for me, this one. But you know what, I'm going to probably go, oh, man, it's tough, eh?
I can see it's tough.
Maybe.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, because I like the fullback that gets forward and scores as well. I really do like that. So if I could mix two eras together.
And you can. This is what this segment is about. So go wild.
Maybe I'd put. Because Steve Bruce wasn't real. He'd make some really crucial tackles at times as well. So
Adam, that
I'm going to go with.
Coming, mate. That
Sorry, mate. I'll go with Steve Bruce, and I'm going to go Jaap Stam.
Oh, what a partnership! Steve Bruce and Jaap Stam. Two big hitters, huh? That's amazing.
Two big boys and
Steve Bruce and Rio Ferdinand.
Steve, and when you were thinking about it, I thought you were going to go Bruce and Ferdinand, because Bruce is a hard hitter and Ferdinand just cleans up afterwards, make sure he looks good in clearing up. So, Abdul, over to you.
You guys are making this very difficult. So
my second choice would have been that. So I'll go with Ferdinand.
I'm going for sure. Steve Bruce, Rio Ferdinand, only because just what Ibrahim said, Jaap Stam is also that hard hitter, So just for us to stabilize the ship, we have a very finessey defender in Rio Ferdinand holding on the ball, and we have Steve Bruce that can really break in there. So how's Steve Bruce, Rio Ferdinand? You guys good with
Love
it?
It.
You guys good? Amazing. Let's log it in.
Guys, what I didn't tell you when we started, Abdul is actually a football coach. He's got his professional licenses, and he does grassroots football development. So when he's picking the team, he's probably going to use a lot of his coaching to dissect it with you guys.
Love it, man. Brilliant stuff. So Steve Bruce, Rio Ferdinand, De Gea, already our spine is looking solid, man.
Solid spine.
Solid.
We're going to move on to the right back position. And everyone that's come on has only chosen one specific right back. I'm not going to mention it. You probably know who he is already. Dean, we're going to start off with you. Your right back to be in this all-time 11.
Probably not on ability, but it's on his love for the club, and I'm going to say Gary Neville.
And that's everyone that chooses Gary Neville. Not the best
Yeah.
right back ever technically, but you hit it, spot on. The love
Passion.
and the commitment that he had for Manchester United and how he helped unlock the players in front of him. David Beckham, when Ronaldo played down that wing, Gary Neville was immense with them. So brilliant pick. Adam, are you going to
without a 100% lock it in? I
Lock
love
it in.
Gary Neville.
Lock it in.
As I
Gary
said
Neville.
before, I love
Gary Neville
Yeah.
at right back. And guys, you know what I love about Gary Neville? Like Ibrahim just said now and early on, not the best footballer, but so functional in a team, in getting the guys in front of him playing, and understanding the game. So Gary Neville, superb.
left back. Before we get into left back, I just want to tell you guys a bit of a story. So, because we are a Manchester United Arsenal channel, we did a bit of a poll on gunning to Old Trafford, and we had it between Patrice Evra and Ashley Cole. And for me, Patrice Evra is head and shoulders above him. But the gunning to Old
Without a
Trafford
doubt.
community decided to choose Ashley Cole, and unfortunately, Patrice Evra decided to jump onto our channel,
And viewed.
and he viewed that they chose Ashley Cole over him.
That particular post, Patrice Evra views that one.
And that really hurt me to this day. So, and that my dislike
cool.
for Arsenal just intensified a little bit. So we're going to jump into the left back position. Obviously we had amazing left backs. Dennis Irwin. Yes, he could play on both sides, but he chose more the left, and he was a captain of captains. We had the likes of Patrice Evra, Mikel Silvestri played on the left as well, and the new guys that are there as well. And obviously, if we go back, back in the past, there's some amazing left backs that played. So, Adam, Dean started off with the right back. We're going to start off with you on the left back. Who's your pick for the all-time 11?
Yeah, look, one of my biggest memories of Manchester United, when I was playing football, we used to have big FA Cup nights, and one of my favourite FA Cup nights, I think it was 91-92 when Lee Martin scored in the replay against Crystal Palace. And look, as much as he's not spoken about a lot, Lee Martin, but mate, that guy used to get up and down the wing a lot. And mate, if you listen to the United podcasts and stuff like that, he was cramping up. He doesn't know how he got forward and stuff like that, and scored an amazing goal. But then you had players like Arthur Orbison and Dennis Irwin and Patrice Evra. But for me, it's got to be Dennis Irwin.
Dennis Irwin.
Dennis.
Brilliant. Love it.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and I don't think Dennis Irwin needs any introduction or any write-up on why you chose him. Dean, your left back, are you going to rival Adam on his left back, or are you going to concede and go with the Dennis Irwin as well?
Well, Patrice Evra might not be happy, but it's definitely Dennis Irwin.
Oh, brilliant.
Sorry,
Without a
Patrice.
doubt, Dennis Irwin, man.
Patrice.
Far out. He is United
Yeah, if
through
you
and
are
through.
watching this,
Absolute class
at
player.
least-
Can score goals, take good penalties,
Oh,
free
yeah.
kicks. He was all round class, Dennis Irwin, and an absolute. Let me tell you, if you get the chance to ever talk to Dennis Irwin, absolute champion guy, absolute lovely bloke.
No, brilliant.
Champion guy.
Brilliant stuff. So, Abdul, if you want to just take
Wow.
the community through the back line and the
This is
goalkeeper.
shaping up beautifully, guys. We've got David De Gea in the polls. Our two centre-back partnership, Steve Bruce, Rio Ferdinand. On the right-back position, Gary Neville. And on the left, none other than Dennis Irwin. Wow. Amazing so far. Amazing.
Love it. That's a solid defense line to really allow your attackers to move forward, man. I would not be worried if I had a team like that, a defense line like that. To continue the spine, obviously we've built a really strong spine. We've got David De Gea, we've got Bruce and Ferdinand. And now we look at its center midfield partnership. You need, in the center midfield partnership, you always need a midfield general, one that can marshal the defense, really hard hitter. And then you need a bit of a maestro, a bit of a flair that can go forward, help your attackers, that box-to-box type of guy. So if you're looking at your center midfield partnerships, who are you going with? And Dean, we're going to start off with you on this. Your center midfield partnership. We gave Adam the difficult one in choosing the center defensive partnership. So we're going to get you in on the center midfield partnership.
It's a lot of central midfielders, isn't there? I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to have Brian Robson and Duncan Edwards.
Oh, yes.
Brian Robson.
Again, makes it difficult for us to say, give us a reason why. But those names alone just give you the reasons why you
and quickly big up to none other than Doc United, Dr. Berry. Told us so much about Duncan Edwards and Brian Robson. It was really an education. So big up Dr. Berry Schmeitzer. We love you. So yeah, that looks good. We have Brian Robson, Duncan Edwards. Adam, talk to us.
Mate, I'm definitely not going to disagree with that centre partnership, let me tell you. Because as we talk about history of United, some of these boys that played in the 50s put their life on the line for this club, and there's no way I am going to go against Dean. No chance. So brilliant. Lock in Robson and Edwards.
Let's lock it in, guys.
But
in the black.
But I love the picks, and I think I can't disagree with it. But it does mean that one of my favorite players doesn't make your guys 11, and that's the mercurial Roy Keane. But
look,
anyway,
Roy Keane's definitely up there on the list. But Roy Keane can make the bench.
Yes, definitely.
We'll definitely give you guys 5 subs just to make it a little bit easier. Abdul, if you want to take us into the right and left wing.
Yeah, so basically, wow, Manchester United has been privileged and blessed with wingers, man. I mean, Nani, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, one of my favorite. Ryan Giggs. I mean, wow. Really, Ryan Giggs gave Arsenal a lot of headaches. And yeah, so who would you guys go for? Your right wing. Let's start with our right wing. But Adam, we're going to go with you.
Because Dean just disappeared. He's back.
Dean is back. So our right wing, and remember, this player needs to also work a lot with your Gary Neville, because Gary Neville's bombing forward, and obviously that linkage. So let's see who we're going to go with. Right wing.
Or right midfield.
Or right midfield,
yeah. Me?
Adam, we're starting off with you. Sorry.
Yeah. For me, it's David Beckham.
Oh man.
You loved it, yeah?
One of my all-time favorite player.
Hands down. He's my boy, David Beckham. I got, without a doubt, I can't go against Bex.
And the first ever rock star footballer, he brought in the fact that footballers can be rock stars as well. I mean, that's obviously before. I mean, George Best was something else. He was a Beatle, right? But I mean, in the modern era with social media and stuff, David Beckham really took it forward.
And Adam, you know why I like this pick is because Gary Neville really brought out, and let's be honest, before David Beckham moved to Real Madrid, Gary Neville brought out the best in a young David Beckham. Really giving him that solidarity.
They're best mates. They're best mates off the pitch, and they boarded together. They played their youth together, and yeah, so it's a good combination.
Amazing.
For me, you need players like David Beckham that can whip a ball in, and he's so underrated for his pace, David Beckham. And I get sick of trying to stick up for him when people think, oh no, he wasn't that good a player. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. But for me, Bex was the ultimate pin-up boy for me, and he'll always be my man crush with Brian McClare, so I'm definitely going to have him in there. Dino knows I go on about him a fair bit.
Look at him shaking his head. Look at him shaking his head. Dino, we're going to go on to you now. You're right midfield. Let's stop Adam before he, gives us a...
He's a bit too much.
So we're going to start off with you, Dino. We're going to get on to you. Your right midfield pick.
I'm putting George Best on the right wing.
Ooh, Georgie.
But Dean, what are you doing there?
No, we could put him somewhere else, though. It's not like George just played on the right wing.
Yeah, but to me, I don't see the David Beckham that you see, mate, to be honest.
That's all black over here. These All Blacks really like to when we're doing a Tri-Nations, they really want to come with a haka and finish us off. George Best, David Beckham. I don't know. I need help. I need help.
No, you're not getting any help, Abdul. This is on you, brother.
I can't leave Adam. We can't leave George Best and David Beckham out, man.
Yeah, but
But
like we spoke about, we spoke about having 5 subs. So
yeah,
maybe I can agree with Dean at this stage because George Best is a big part of the reason why I am a big Manchester United fan, as my uncle was a huge George Best fan, and in this case, I will drop Beckham probably back to the bench, and
I was thinking the same.
I'll put George Best in the starting lineup.
No, you guys are not fair, man. You guys made Abdul's life so much easier.
And I was going to say, just because of the respect George Best needs to be given. And I was watching a documentary on George Best, and guys, Dean, Adam, do you know how this documentary starts? It starts off by George Best is a diamond. So I think David Beckham wouldn't mind being on the bench.
Oh, without a doubt.
Assisting George Best when he's a little bit tired. So we're going to take out David Beckham.
How do you choose? Like you got players like Roy Keane, Robson, Scholes, Nicky Butt, Bobby Charlton, who's very underrated, doesn't get spoken about enough. Paddy Crerand, who's a hard nut like Roy Keane. Nobby Stiles, who he had no teeth, nothing. And you got your George Best as well. Like that's in your midfield alone. So it's really a tough one. You could make four. Tell me another club where you could make this many different starting
combinations.
Very difficult. Yeah, but okay, just to tell you guys, David De Gea, David Beckham, Adam, Dean. We've already put Roy Keane and David Beckham already on our bench. Are you guys good with that? Locked in.
Yep.
Good.
Perfect stuff.
Good.
So now we're going to move on. We've got a few minutes left. I think just over 6, so we need to get through this.
Yeah.
Your left midfield position. Again, some amazing players to choose from. And the best version of Cristiano Ronaldo was the Cristiano Ronaldo coming off the left. We had Ryan Giggs playing on the left. I mean, we had amazing, players. Bobby Charlton could probably play on the left. George Best could play on the left. Because we had Adam, throwing David Beckham on the right as a starter, we're going to go on to Dean. Who do you want to start off with, Dean, on your left midfield?
Well, I know he didn't really play there, but I'm putting Sir Bobby Charlton there just to fit him in the team, to be honest.
Sir
Bobby on the left. Adam, he's making it difficult for you.
Oh, man, seriously. I can't go past Ryan Giggs. He scored some fabulous goals, and I've got to say Giggs for mine. The guy was unbelievable. He scored some absolute wizard goals, and as much as Charlton is so underrated, I wish we could fit another one in the centre partnership that we did. But for me, it's Giggs. I've got to have Giggs. He had plenty of pace. I like pace up and down the wing, and I don't think Charlton had as much pace as Ryan Giggs. So I'll definitely lock it.
So Dean, we're gonna chop this one around a little bit. We bench David Beckham to bring in George Best, but what we're gonna do now is we are gonna bench Sir Bobby Charlton just to give us that someone like Sir Bobby Charlton on the bench.
You can tell him that you benched him.
Yeah. I need to be wearing blue that day, not red, so he can bulldoze me. So just the opposite way around, leaving Sir Bobby Charlton on the bench and giving your Roy Keane, David Beckham a nice pep talk before they go. Roy Keane's on the bench.
I think who was our two centre partnership? Our centre partnership was in the centre mid. Who was that?
Robson and
Duncan Edwards.
That's it. So look, you've got Roy Keane and Sir Bobby that can come in for those two as well from the bench. So
okay, so are you?
They can swap at half time.
Okay, Dino, are you happy with that? We're gonna go with Ryan Giggs in a starting 11 and drop Sir Bobby on the bench.
As long as you're not putting Ryan Giggs' brother on the bench, I'm happy.
Okay. Nice one.
I love it.
Dino. You always come out with one.
I
love you, brother. No, he'd be waiting for him after.
I mean, his missus on the bench.
We leave that for another day.
Yeah, let's
So now
go.
we've got a really amazing
We got
team.
3 minutes left.
Our two guys up front, our strikers up
Yeah.
front, again, spoiled for choice through the generations, always big goal scorers at Manchester United. One player that I always love, but always gets overlooked. I'm not going to mention it, but I'm hoping you guys bring him in. Let's see who you guys going for your strike partnership. And Adam, we'll let you choose one. So we're not going to give it a contest here. Adam, you choose one. Dean, you choose one. And that will make up the 11. So who wants to go first? Adam or Dean?
Well, my answer will be quicker. I know that.
Okay, so we're going with you,
Go,
Dean.
Dean, go.
Nah, Adam, you go because I think I know who you'll pick. So I want to. You go.
Oh, I'm looking at the names I've got down here. I always look for players that have scored in the 30s and stuff like that. But our top goal scorer for the club's Wayne Rooney, so I've definitely got to have him there.
Oh, yeah.
Waza! That's the guy that I was talking about. A lot of players overlook Wayne Rooney in that striking position. Very, very underrated and an absolute legend of Manchester United. I think,
Well,
you know,
you
a
better-
lot more respect on him.
You better put Eric Cantona next to him then.
Yes,
well,
of
the
course.
king.
Choice,
The
Dino.
king. The king has to be
We
there.
don't have
We don't have a collar to
today.
pop,
So normally
but-
when we talk of King Cantona now automatically, oh, there's it. Automatically our collars go. So are we locking in King Cantona?
Yeah, we go.
Oh,
There we
are.
go.
There we
There.
go. Oh, salute, man.
Love it.
Salute,
Love
salute.
the collar is pop.
Oh, the collars pop too.
I
Are we
love it.
locking in King Cantona? Vava
We're
good.
locking in King Cantona. So, guys, we've got 3 on the bench.
That's why I didn't want Ryan Giggs in the starting team.
We got
because
2
there's already
minutes.
trouble.
2 minutes to go.
We've got 2 minutes to go. We've got a packed midfield on your bench. So we're going to ask you, we're going to give you 3 more subs, a goalkeeper, a defender, and an attacker. Who are you guys going for your 3 substitutes to get onto the bench? So a keeper substitute, a defensive substitute, and an attacking substitute.
Well,
And,
Schmeichel's got to be.
Sorry?
Schmeichel's got to be the keeper.
Michael?
Agree.
Yeah, I think both agree. Schmeichel is the backup keeper. Defensive backup could be across your back line. Who do you see coming in as a versatile defensive backup?
Maybe Vidic to work in with Ferdinand.
I was going to say John O'Shea because he plays everywhere.
Well, then you can take Schmeichel out because he can be a keeper too.
And the goal against Arsenal, man.
Oh,
what
John
a goal.
O'Shea.
John O'Shea.
John O'Shea.
So do Vidic or O'Shea? Cheesy or Vidic?
I love Vidic. I'm not going to even lie.
No, I was only joking.
Oh,
about
joking,
O'Shea.
joking. Okay.
So Vidic locked in, and our striker up front. Who's
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy?
Van
for
Nistelrooy,
Dean?
100%. He was at the
And
top
Adam.
of my line, Van Nistelrooy.
100%. Okay, guys, we've got a few seconds, but we have to.
Let's not run through the team. Let's
We're
just
not
tell the
gonna run-
guys nicely.
But
Yep.
listen, yeah, there's something which you guys need to do, and we didn't do it in our first video. We end the video with we count it down, and we all say gunning to Old Trafford. Are you guys good with that?
Yeah, mate.
Sure.
Perfect stuff.
Right.
Guys, before we do that, really amazing to have you guys on. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And hopefully we can do more of this going into the future. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining Gunning to Old Trafford. Really appreciate your time. It was amazing talking to fellow Reds across the world. I know our time difference, so you guys accommodated us in making sure you guys
Appreciate
make this
that, yeah.
happen. Really appreciate it. And hopefully in the future, we can do a lot more of this, yeah? And if you guys ever need
Without a doubt.
on
Sounds
Worldwide Reds or on the Mancave, please let us know. We're happy to support you guys as much as you need, yeah?
Yeah, we do. I mean, on our Worldwide Reds page, on our Instagram page, Worldwide Reds, we promote a lot of people. So, and it's free of charge. So, to any of the Manchester United supporter clubs and everyone there, we don't charge for it. You just give us, if you've got an event coming up or you're running a podcast or something like that, we're happy to promote it. You send us a poster or I'm happy to make you a poster or something like that, whatever you just want to do. So
Absolutely.
We'll pull something together
Yeah.
for sure. And to all the
Yeah.
community of Gunning to Old Trafford, anything that you're doing from a Manchester United perspective, reach out to Adam and Dean, and they can really amplify that for you as well. So guys, as
Definitely.
tradition on Gunning to Old Trafford, when we end any of our segments,
Yeah.
we go out with, we are Gunning to Old Trafford. So on 3, if you
We-
guys
you know we're going to struggle to say this. You know that.
I know, but just
exactly all over the show.
but okay. So, but Dean and Adam,
Dean's turned into an
yeah.
ultra for a second.
It's been a total pleasure and lovely meeting you guys. And like Ibrahim said, this is just a start for something huge, and really can't wait to meet you guys in person. And it's been an education. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for
Thanks
having us.
having us.
Okay, are we good? We're gonna go.
We're
Look
good.
calm down.
Struggling
Look at
already.
Listen here. Let's just do it. Let's just try. Okay, let's go. On 3, 2, 1. We are
Gunning
Gunning for
Love
Old Trafford.
it. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good evening,
No
yeah.
problem.
And enjoy the rest
See you
of your
guys.
podcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No worries. Thanks for having us, boys. See you later.